Hello, this is Gigi Capone, and I've brought you once again a fantastic interview, and this time with Steve Terapak, who is a composer, arranger, producer, recording engineer, and multi-instrumentalist for people whose music you've played over and over again, in case you didn't know. Steve, welcome to the show.
Hey, Gigi, great to be here.
I'm ecstatic to have you on the show today. You've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, the creme de la creme, so to speak, and I'm excited to introduce you to our audience. For those who might not already know you, tell us, what do you do?
Oh, man, that's a really hard question. No, it's true, but I kind of do what everyone does at this point. I do it all. Out of kind of necessity and also out of love. Growing up, people told me that you should focus all your energy and efforts into one specific thing and, get really good at that. And I think that's important and true, but I also am a person that just, loves all different types of things. Musically, speaking, the engineering side of things, the composing side of things, playing instruments, I can't get enough. And now, where we are, trumpet, trombone, piano are my three main. But, I can play other, like tuba and the other instruments in the brass family as well. So that's kind of where I float for now. But I've been playing a lot less instruments in recent years and doing a lot more production. So.
Is that where your passion's at?
That's kind of where the passion is, and I also think that's kind of where the music business is heading in terms of being relevant with musical skills. Phone used to ring a lot for session work as a trumpet player, as a trombone player, going on tours. A lot of bands don't even have horn sections nowadays. For me, I think the reason why I do so many different things is out of necessity and just continually trying to reinvent myself, staying on top of the trend in music, and positioning myself in that way.
Now, speaking of which, you've worked with some of the greatest, Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, LL Cool J. Let me ask you, what do you feel has been your most successful project so far, and why?
Well, I think the concert at Carnegie Hall with Jay-Z was really a special concert. Because it was pretty awesome. I got to arrange for a full orchestra, and basically, just was backing up, all famous Jay-Z songs. And Jay has lots of hits. I don't think people really realize, I don't know how many albums he's put out over the course of his career, but when you go to the show and it's just song after song after song, and every song it's a hit, it's crazy. You go to other artists and, they'll play a couple of their hits, and then they also play, album songs. And if you're really a fan of that artist, the album songs, but it's not like they had major radio play and they're just, known all over the world. But no, at that Jay-Z show, every song, everyone knew and was singing along, and it was crazy. And I was so happy to be a part of that and bring something really, really musical in the orchestral sense, just to his music.
After that, did you go home? What did you do? Did you have to stop and say to yourself, "Wow, did that just happen?"
Yeah, that kind of happens a lot. It's kind of surreal in a sense sometimes, and things like that kind of sink in later over time. But I'm really not the kind of person that goes crazy over meeting a celebrity. I think I'm pretty grounded in that sense.
No, but you're human. At some point, you got to say, "Hey, I just did that."
Yeah, you're right. I just did that, exactly.
Do you have a genre preference?
Well, right now I'm kind of focusing on EDM and dance music, which is really nothing new, but new for mainstream America.
I hear it's a good market right now for EDM.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's first of all, it's a global sensation. And the fans, the people that support the music, really support the culture in a way that I think is very important for music to survive in an economical sense in 2015. Like, maybe people are not really downloading music nowadays and actually buying physical songs, but EDM fans come out to the shows and support the artists and will pay, sometimes a lot of money. The tickets are expensive. And that's kind of, through the years, I went to school and graduated college in 2004, and that was right around when Napster and the internet had, made everything begin to crumble. For about 10 years, we've all been scratching our heads wondering, what the heck, what's the new business model? Like, how do we position ourselves to make money in this business? People have been kind of saying it for a while, but now I think it's no longer speculation, and it's obvious. It's like, promote your music, send it out for free, and just accumulate fans, and you'll get the money when they come to your show. And that's kind of what really makes me excited about EDM when I watch Deadmau5 or Skrillex or, oh my gosh, there's so many people that I've been, and you look at the sea of people at like Ultra Music Festival. There's so many humongous festivals just all over the world, really, and it's inspiring. It really is.
With so many talents, what is your favorite type of project to work on? Would it be producing something in the studio? Would you rather be in front of a live audience? What does it for you?
Well, I'm a Libra, so I need balance in my life. I definitely enjoy both the studio aspect of things as well as performance. They kind of go hand in hand.
And outside of music, what kind of hobbies do you have?
I pretty much, my life is pretty simple in the sense that, I'm always doing music or, in some form. The music is my hobby. It's my career. It's my life. It's totally consuming. Everything.
What inspires that drive?
Gosh, it's a way to connect with people. It's a way to communicate in a nonverbal way. It's very emotional, or it can be. I feel it should be. Although I feel like a lot of the electronic stuff now is becoming more technical, but still there's emotion is conveyed within all that technology. I dance salsa, which is still
that's unique.
rooted.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance we might see you dancing with the stars?
You know what? If they ask me to, that's such a crazy thing. I would love to do it. I would do it. I think I'm pretty good at it too. I also like to cook. I'm not really consistent with it yet, but every now and then I'll surprise myself and make something pretty awesome, or so I think. And then I also like to box.
So you stay nice and fit then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got.
So here's an obvious question: what are you working on for 2015?
Well, right now I'm really trying to reestablish myself as a producer, as an EDM producer. So I've been focusing on remixes. And things like just to basically play at the club, for DJs and as a way for me to kind of experiment with my sound, because I haven't really exactly found my electronic sound yet. But I feel like, in terms of working with acapellas and stuff, like famous acapellas, that's just a good way for me to experiment and stay in a very pop space and not get too experimental with my sounds, because there's so many different virtual instruments and things to mess around with nowadays. It's so easy just to kind of turn on the computer and write like a bunch of just stuff, and I feel like writing to acapellas helps me have a little bit more focus. So yeah, pretty much just remixes at this time. By the end of the year, I hope to kind of define my sound and start to work on my own album. originals. So.
Oh, I'll definitely be in line to listen to that. That sounds interesting. I'd like to see who ends up on that one.
You, me as well.
Who are you rolling out with for Super Bowl this year?
Oh, man.
I had to ask.
Yeah, I have to, Google who actually made it because I'm kind of in the musical box. I went to last Sunday, what it was, the Packer, the Colts.
Yeah, the Packer.
I saw that game. Yeah, I was over my friend. I was over my friend's house watching the game with a bunch of people in a band that I play with. Yeah, but I was just there for the hang. I don't really watch the game. So I'm sorry that I can't answer your question. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl.
Actually, that was just the best ever. But it's the Patriots and the Seahawks this year. The Niners didn't make it, so I just really don't give a.
All right, well, I'm an Eagles fan. I'll definitely support my home team. And once we got out the playoffs, I was like, all right, well, no point following anymore. But I love some wings. I love some wings and beer at Super Bowl. So that'll be. I'm looking forward.
Well, yeah, the camaraderie is the best part, right? Do you have any advice for up-and-coming music industry professionals who might still be plugging away and trying to get to that professional level to where they're working with the Jay-Z's and the Buju Bantans and the George Michaels like you have?
Well, I would say to try to be well-rounded, it's important you kind of have to do everything nowadays and know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone can't really be awesome at everything. But you should try to be as versatile as possible, and just realize that if you come from a very musical standpoint, like myself, the thing that you need to work on is really understanding the technology, and vice versa. I mean, if you're starting on the computer and experimenting with sound design, that's awesome. But learn to play an instrument. Learn actually about music. There's so many people that call themselves music producers that don't really know that much about music. And, to musicians, it's kind of I don't know. I kind of feel like with all the musical knowledge that I've acquired, it's really important for me to be able to utilize the technology nowadays. So yeah, I mean, just people being versatile and trying to fill in the holes and create just good music. Just create stuff that they like personally, and then also try to find fans as well. Because at the end of the day, it's a global audience that we're reaching on the internet here. So if you put out a whistling album, which I actually might do because I can kind of whistle a little bit, like virtuosically. Can I give you a little sample?
Yeah, can you whistle for us?
So that was the beginning of Donna Lee. Yeah. So I don't know. I've wanted to put out a whistling album for a while, and I think maybe on the internet.
Right.
Yeah,
where did you pick that up from?
As a kid, I used to not be able to whistle at all, and I always wanted to do it. So I just kept on trying, and one day I got it, and when I finally did get it, I was afraid that I'd forget, so I just kept on doing it so I wouldn't forget. And I just kind of built on from there.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
So I don't know. There's a lot of different audiences to kind of tap into, and I don't know. 2015 is an interesting time to be alive and involved in music because it can, there's so many different directions that is possible to take things. So
for new fans who are being introduced to you today for the very first time by listening to this interview, Could you please tell them the best place to interact with you and keep up with you online?
My personal website is probably the best place, and that is stevetirpak.com. Last name is spelled Tirpak.
So I want everybody to make sure that they go to his website and check out all these amazing sounds, because I tell you, it would take me all day to go through Steve's catalog. He's got some great work, and I definitely look forward to listening to a whistling album. That is like one of the best ideas I've ever heard yet. And I promise you I will be reviewing your whistling album.
Oh, man. Well, we'll see if it ever happens, but yeah.
All right.
But my pleasure. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
I definitely want to thank you for allowing me the time to interview and get to know you, and would love to have you back again sometime. And once again, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.